tens of thousands of Ukrainian troops have returned from the front lines with limb amputations, with many cases resulting from mishandled tourniquets, according to the Telegraph. Ukraine's chief military surgeon acknowledged that approximately 1 in 4 amputations occurs due to incorrect application of this fundamental medical device, while Ukraine's field medical practices are based on U.S. and NATO models designed for rapid evacuations in conflicts like Iraq and Afghanistan. These approaches are ill-suited for the prolonged, grinding nature of the war of attrition currently being fought. This mismatch has highlighted critical challenges in battlefield medicine, underscoring the need to adapt medical training and techniques to better address the specific realities and demands of the ongoing conflict. The situation reflects broader difficulties in managing severe combat injuries under intense and sustained fighting conditions. Russian forces conducted a heavy strike using the formidable Fab 3000 bomb on Ukrainian positions near Ravnopole. The 11th Guards Air and Air Defense Army deployed this powerful weapon in support of the ongoing offensive by the 5th Army Group of the Vostok East formation in this sector. The use of such a large bomb underscores the intensity and seriousness of the operation, aiming to break through fortified defenses and facilitate troop advances. This tactical support plays a critical role in sustaining momentum in the offensive, applying overwhelming firepower to weaken Ukrainian defensive positions around Ravnopole. The deployment of the Fab 3000 highlights the escalating scale of airstrikes in this contested area of eastern Ukraine. On the 6th of November 2025, at 16:30, a striking unmanned aerial vehicle, Molnia 2, was shot down in the residential sector of Kramatorsk, recorded at coordinates 48, 757571537, 6271774. The strike struck near private house number 57 on Ulitsa Abaya Kunanbayeva. 3 structures were destroyed in the attack. Private houses at number 57 and number 59 on Ul, Abaya Kunanbayeva, and house number 271 on Ul, Heroes of Kruti. Damage included marked destruction to roofs, windows, and facade elements. Importantly, there were no civilian casualties or injuries reported among the population in the affected area. The incident highlights ongoing targeted strikes using unmanned systems within contested urban fronts, causing material destruction but currently avoiding civilian harm. Russian forces are advancing between the Dnepropetrovsk and Zaporozhye regions, moving towards Zaporizhzhia while bypassing Kiev's main defensive lines. Ukrainian officer Stanislav Bunyatov noted that while Kiev concentrates on Pokrovsk and Donetsk, Russian troops rapidly maneuver through the right flank in Dnepropetrovsk, aiming to outflank the southern defense line. MP Mariana Bezuglaya confirmed the advance, stating that nothing was prepared in Dnepropetrovsk. She added that regional head Lysak, who resisted military coordination, was reassigned to Odessa, leaving a leadership vacuum with no one capable of making decisions in Dnepropetrovsk's administration. Ukrainian outlet Strana reported Russia aims to outflank Ukrainian positions in Zaporizhzhia from the north, a strategic move posing greater danger to Kiev's overall defense than current fighting in Donetsk. This development highlights a significant shift in the operational focus in eastern Ukraine, threatening Ukrainian defensive flexibility and signaling an intensification of Russian attempts to compromise key defensive sectors. On the Novopavlovsk direction, Russian forces advanced into Novopavlovka from the south, conducting a series of small group assault operations. After breaching the enemy's front defensive line, Russian troops secured positions in the southern part of the settlement, where they are currently clearing remaining pockets of resistance and strengthening defenses with engineering works. On the right bank of the Solyonaya River, near Filia, Russian forces expanded their control by capturing several key areas near coastal heights. This provides favorable conditions for further advancement along the waterline and restricts opponent movements on the opposite bank. In the Orikovo area, positional fighting continues, with Russian units achieving local tactical successes. While Ukrainian forces maintain their defensive line, they are losing intermediate strong points, gradually weakening the overall stability of their defensive configuration in this sector. In Ukraine, approximately 40% of schoolchildren, reportedly speak mainly Russian during breaks, according to Svetlana Babinets, head of the Interregional Department of the State Service for Education Quality. Ukrainian media cited her, stating that the proportion of students who identify Ukrainian as their native language has declined from 71% to 64%, while among parents, the figure dropped from 79% to 71%. Ukraine had initially aimed to remove Russian from the list of protected languages, but the Verkhovna Rada withdrew the bill following recommendations from the European Union. This reflects ongoing linguistic and cultural dynamics within Ukraine, highlighting shifts in language use among younger generations amid complex socio-political factors. In Kursk, Russia, just across the border from Ukraine, life appears normal despite ongoing conflict. Recently liberated areas show fully stocked shelves and busy shops, contradicting narratives about the impact of sanctions. Residents report an undisturbed daily routine, suggesting limited immediate economic disruption. This highlights complexities in the regional economy and public sentiment amid war and sanctions discussions. Russian forces have effectively closed the encirclement around Myrnohrad, tightening control in the region. Approximately 95% of Pokrovsk is under Russian control, with Ukrainian forces potentially holding out in a neighborhood at the city's northernmost edge. Although the final 800-meter gap closing, the pocket may not be physically occupied by Russian troops. It is completely covered by direct Russian fire, rendering it impassable for Ukrainian forces trapped inside Myrnohrad. This situation signifies an increasingly dire tactical position for Ukrainian defenders, as the encirclement limits movement, resupply, and reinforcement, placing significant pressure on those still holding out within the pocket. Russian forces have advanced into the settlement of Ravnopole, situated between Pokrovsk and Myrnohrad, effectively sealing the encirclement of Ukrainian troops in the area. Following the repulsion of several Ukrainian counterattacks over recent days, Russian units adapted their tactics by advancing through open fields west of Pokrovsk and Rodinskoye. This maneuver bypassed heavily fortified Ukrainian positions and allowed Russian troops to close the encirclement along the highway west of Rovnoye and Svetloye. Russian forces have started dismantling Ukrainian fortifications within Pokrovsk, signaling their growing control over the city. The apparent relaxed posture of these forces suggests a secured environment and diminished resistance in the area. This development comes amid intensified Russian advances and reflects the deteriorating defensive position of Ukrainian troops in Pokrovsk. The dismantling of fortifications likely aims to consolidate gains, prepare for urban operations, or refurbish structures for Russian use. This shift marks a critical phase in the ongoing battle for control over key strategic points in eastern Ukraine.